what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some of these plants that I really like. Okay, everybody, I got some holes dug out here a little bit with a post hole digger. It is you can see some rows marked out. I took the Manis tiller and marked these rows out after we got the weeds and stuff out. After I marked it out with that Manis tiller, I took a little bit of Epsom salt, just a little bit, and what I've done on those other ones, I'm filling these holes up. If y'all ever garden, y'all know that you can plant a tomato deep as you want. You can cover that. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Louisiana Homestead, and welcome if it's your first time here. Here at Louisiana Homestead, we are living off the land as much as we can, and I guess you can say that we are practicing to live off grid, learning how to live off grid as much as we can. And we hope at Louisiana Homestead we can help some of you guys out there that has homesteads, you know, or prepping, or maybe even help give y'all a laugh every once in a while, or a word of encouragement, just to share what we doing, and maybe we can help somebody out there some kind of way. This morning I wanted to show y'all what I'm gonna be doing with the garden. I'm gonna be taking some of these tomato and pepper plants that I got started. By the way, you see right there, I got a Craftsman weed eater. I got a hold of that the other day. Me and my wife decided to get one. She needed a leaf blower, and we splurged and we got that. And I'm gonna tell you what, it changed my life in the garden. It helps me with hoeing and getting on my knees and pulling weeds, and it's really better than pulling the grass for chop and drop. Or, I know I got off subject, it's better than pulling the grass for chop and drop or hoeing it in one way. I had big weeds, grass, like you see right here along this fence line. I had all that growing right here from over the season, where I had some stuff, you know, out of season. And I was preparing all this the other day, and I started pulling weeds. But everything that you see here was done with a weed eater. Unbelievable. So I've got all this, instead of just having a big old pile of weeds or grass waiting to mulch down and decay, this stuff, that weed eater, I mean, it really did the trick. It just, that thing's amazing. I don't know what I've been doing without one for years. But anyway, let me go back to what we was talking about. I'm gonna take some of these plants that I have been growing, started them all from seeds, except for a few. I'll tell you all about that in a minute. And I'm gonna be picking out some of my better tomato plants and pepper plants and putting them in different locations this morning. I'm gonna be putting them in the ground. And I'm not putting everything out all in one day. Mr. E likes to diversify, put different plants in different locations and in different times, in case something happens to one batch, or some of them I got them spread out, different types of soil even maybe. But before I start putting some of these plants out this morning, I got to go help my son. He's going to be putting in addition to a chicken pen, and I got to help him get some things started on that. And then I got to run a hook net today. If y'all interested in hook net fishing, I got a few videos. Me and Miss KK got a few videos on hook net fishing, and y'all can go check out some of those videos. They're pretty neat. I don't know if I'll be able to get that on video today, this hook net fishing, but that's the things I got going on. I got to put some plants out today. I mean, I already did my morning chores, and I've got to go help my son, come back, put some plants out, and then check that hook net. And I got to go check on my mom and then bring them some fish if I catch anything in the hook net. Speaking of the hook nets, we had some people commented and wanted us to show them how we prepare some of these fish called freshwater drum or goo, like we call it around here. They want me to show them how we cook them and prepare them, and I plan on doing a video on that pretty soon, guys. So stick with me on filleting it and showing y'all how we cook those. So let me give y'all one more word on these plants. I'm gonna be coming in my little greenhouses after I work at my son's. Like I said, we're gonna be picking out some of these better plants that I want, and I'm gonna be putting some in the ground. And you'll notice Mr. E said that he plants all his stuff from his own seed, and I need to clarify. I try to plant all my stuff from my own seed, but if you'll notice, I just showed you a few plants that were store-bought, I call that. That's because I used some potting soil mix every year, and I'm going to start making my own, period, because year before last or last year, I had some potting soil that stunted my little plants when I had them. When the seeds would come up, they just wouldn't do anything. They had a bad mixture of fertilizer or some kind of chemical or something in them. And this year I got a hold of some more like that. And what it did, it stunted my, I had 2 different name brands in 2 different bags. And the first bag of potting soil that I used, well, actually I had 3. The first bag of 2 cubic foot potting soil that I used worked real good. And I had some, you can see these bigger, taller, better looking plants in here. They were from that first bag. The second bag, this is all planted around the same time. My plants did like this. That's a tomato plant that was planted at the same time as these other big tomato plants. Different name brand potting soil. So what happened is my eggplants, my jalapeno plants, and some of my pepper plants got planted in a bad batch of potting soil. And so I had to actually buy a few plants to get the right ones that I like, because I like cayenne peppers, Iberia cayennes, and some of my jalapenos and my eggplants were planted in a bad batch. That's the world we live in, folks. Y'all hang on. I'm going to go help my son get that chicken pen worked on. I'm going to come back and show y'all transplanting this some of these tomato plants and these pepper plants. And y'all hang with us at Louisiana Homestead. We'll be back after I work at my son's, and we'll show you what we're doing in here. Thank y'all. Okay, everybody. I'm back from working at my son's house. We just spent about 3 hours together working on his chicken pen, getting an addition to a chicken pen. So I'm back here, what I was talking about earlier, and showing you what I was planning on doing today. I'm about wore out now, but I'll get some of them in the ground. Starting to put some of my spring plants out, mostly my tomatoes and peppers today. So I'll get back to that and show you what we was talking about earlier before I went to my son's house to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some of these plants that I really like, you know, some of the best looking ones. This one's labeled garden purple type, and I'm going to explain that. I don't know if you can see that. And watch, this one has no label at all, and I'm going to explain that too. And then let me see another tomato that looks good that I might want to put out today. It just says garden tomato on it. Mr. E's the only one can understand his writing and what I did here. And this one, for instance, says pink on it. I know that's a pink girl. So let me explain what I did here with my seeds. Take these glasses off like Miss KK said. It makes better video. So what I did is, this is the 3rd generation or the 3rd season that I've planted my tomatoes from my own seeds. So I've got some that's labeled pink girl. It might just say pink on it. And what that is, if it just says pink on it, that means I did a pink girl from some old seeds that actually was a pink girl seed that I bought. And some of them came up. If it'll say pink girl type, it means it's from a seed, like a 2nd generation seed that was from a pink girl, but it's one where I saved the seeds from that pink girl so it can be a hybrid with some of the other tomatoes that I plant. What I like to plant are pink girls. They got an awesome flavor. Purple Cherokee or Cherokee Purple, whichever one they call that. And Arkansas Traveler mostly. And so I'll have some tomatoes that are labeled garden tomato in there, and that means that's a 3rd generation, because I know how I labeled them. That's a 3rd generation seed. So last year I might have had purple type, pink type, and Arkansas Traveler type, a 2nd generation that could have been a hybrid of all 3 of those. And so basically what I'm saying is, my 3rd generation of seed saving, I just call them a garden tomato, and I know that it's going to be a combination of those 3 types. And I guess basically what I'm doing is I'll have my own type of my own name brand garden tomato, whatever you want to call it, to be a hybrid between all those that I've that I've been saving. So this will be third generation saving seeds. So for my tomato seeds, and I guess I'm developing my own tomato plant for my area out of Pink Girl, Purple Cherokee, and Arkansas Traveler mostly. So I'm gonna get some of these in the ground, and I'll show y'all what that looks like here in a little bit. Okay, everybody, I got some holes dug out here a little bit with a post hole digger. This is good garden dirt, so it really wasn't much digging. I'll show you that. I just marked out a few holes. I'll dig them deeper than I need to. What I did is, you can see some rows marked out. I took the Manis tiller and marked these rows out after we got the weeds and stuff out. It's not tilling real great because I need to change the blades, but it just kind of marked them out and tore up some of the especially the Bermuda grass seeds. But that just helped me mark it out. And what I did after I marked it out with that Manis tiller, I took a little bit of Epsom salt, just a little bit, and went everywhere I'm gonna have a row. And I took a little bit of lime, went everywhere I'm gonna have a row that I'll have a row. And I took a little bit of gypsum and put, just to kind of amend the soil and even it out a little bit. And I also took some garden soil that I've been making, having healed up and turning over with the tractor over the years, made from old hay and old cow manure and stuff like that, to supplement where my little holes are going to be to put my plants. So that's what we got right here. We got some good garden soil that we basically made ourselves, and I'm going to go and I'm going to fill all these holes up with water, and I'm going to come back with my plants and transplant them. And I'll mount my camera and show you a few of those transplants. And then after we do that, I'll turn the camera off. We'll show some other videos a little later, hopefully, you know, if the Heavenly Father permits, where we'll have this shade house filled up with plants. And then I got this second shade area over here I'm going to do the same thing with. So I plant my plants several different ways, different places, different methods sometimes, because like I told you, Mr. E likes to diversify, not have all his eggs in one basket. So I'm gonna get some of these things transplanted. I'll turn the camera off, get some transplanted, and I'll mount the camera showing you a couple of transplants, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I got a lot of these in the ground. I say a lot. I got 5 tomatoes and 5 bell peppers, California Wonders. I'm gonna mount the camera and put these last 3 and talk to you for a second. What I'm doing, what I've done on those other ones, I'm filling these holes up with that garden soil I made over the years, turning it over with the tractor. That just adds a little bit to your soil. It's made from old hay and mulch and stuff. And I forgot to mention, when I did put my limestone and all the other amendments, Epsom salt and gypsum, I came through with some different types of bug spray just to help. Sprayed the ground with that. And this is what Mr. E got going on here. This is how I do it. Put the garden soil, fill these holes up with water. And we're going to get that in there. I forgot to mention that earlier. Or I might have mentioned it, but I might have not made it clear. If I got something that'll say something like purple on it, I mean that's a first generation of bought commercial seed, Purple Cherokee tomato. If it says purple type on it, that's Mr. E's code. I know. I hope that ain't backwards. If it says purple type, that means that's a second generation where I saved seeds from a tomato that came out looking like a Purple Cherokee, but it was from seeds that I saved from the year before that could have been hybrids. And then the third generation tomatoes that I just labeled them garden tomatoes. They could look like an Arkansas Traveler, a Pink Girl, or a Purple Cherokee. It doesn't matter to me. From now on, everything that I save, my tomato seeds from my garden, I'm gonna just call it garden tomato, and it'll pretty much be a hybrid of all of those 3. So this is all to do. Don't forget, folks, I know y'all, if y'all have a garden, y'all know that you can plant a tomato deep as you want. You can cover that stem up. I don't know if y'all can see all this, but we'll be finished here in a minute. If you've seen any of our other videos, you can go back. Mr. E will teach you guys how to make one of these tomato and pepper cages. They work good for tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. Y'all see I'm doing this pretty quick. Mr. E's never worried about pretty. He's worried about produce. All right. All right. Here we go with another one. This is a garden tomato. That means this is the 3rd generation of seeds I saved. It could come out looking like a pink girl, could come out looking like an Arkansas Traveler, come out looking like a purple Cherokee, or a combination of all of them. It doesn't matter to me. All right. Here we go. And we'll get one more. Y'all get the idea. Tell you what, I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna get some more plants in here. When we get this filled up, or however many the Heavenly Father lets us put in here, we'll show y'all what that looks like. We'll try to keep y'all updated. And I'm gonna get a few more plants in here, and then I gotta go run those hook nets. But if y'all like this video, let us know. We'll try to do more like them. Put that in the comments, questions, whatever. I know I had somebody else. I'm gonna get the name straight, y'all. I can't remember everybody right now. Mr. E's head's too filled with stuff. But we had some of our regular subscribers that comment that said they wanted to see more garden stuff, and some of them even told us about some of these freshwater drum we catching, which I'm gonna go run that net here in a little while. I don't know if I'll get that on video, but you can look at some of our other videos catching these fish in these hook nets and with the rod and reel, these goo freshwater drum. When I get a chance, I'll show you how we skin and fillet them, and how we make a good little fish gravy, and how we cut strips and fry them. It tastes like fried shrimp when you fry it. So we'll do that on another video. Y'all let us know if y'all like this. We'll keep you up to date on the garden. Thank y'all for watching and spending time with us. We hope we helped y'all. Thank y'all.